Hi, we are the Freetime group. My name is Alex Richims. I'm on the left. And then going right, we have Stefan Todorov, Isaac Warner, and Kyle Smith. Our project is all about making it easier to spend time with others. So there's kind of two problems in this situation. One, it's really difficult to do this when you have really busy or unpredictable schedules. And this is because you can't really schedule stuff in advance or have kind of a regular weekly rhythm if, let's say, you're a student and every week changes because of assignment loads or different classes that come in and out of your life. Other examples are a lot of people that do freelancing. And the second aspect is it's really stressful to be in that constant communication and annoying to have those meetings happen. So we're trying to make our process as simple and smooth as possible. So how it works is we have a social media app. You add friends, and then friends can see each other's free times, and these free times contain information that will let other users know what they're doing, and so then people can go and join them. And the point is that you know these people in real life, and you can just message them, and it's rather than having to set something up, it's, oh, people are already doing this, or you just go do it and then people can join you. An example would be like, I'm going to go to the coffee shop and in 15 minutes for 15 minutes, and it's the coffee shop in the bottom of the Marriott. And for specific purposes, I'm going to be studying while I'm there.
This is Isaac. I'm going to go ahead and lead you through the live demo. To get started using Freetime, I'm going to go ahead and log in. I'll go to my friends view and see that I haven't added any friends yet. Over here we can see Steve's account. His username is Steve, and I would like to become his friend. So what I'll go ahead and do is go to the add friend on my account, type in his username, send request. And on his account we can see that it shows up. And so he'll go ahead and accept it. And we are now friends. So now when I go to my home view, I can see that he's shared a game night happening in about 40 minutes. So maybe I can go stop in a little later over at his house. So then I would like to go ahead and share free time of my own. So tonight I think I will go to the Piper Down in Salt Lake where they have trivia night. And I think I'll head over in about 15 minutes and I'll stick around for about an hour. And I can save this for later because maybe I'll go again next week. So I can go ahead and share that. And because Steve is my friend, it shows up in his list as well. So if he has a few minutes free, he can also come by and maybe we can go to his game night after we're done. And I think I would like to change my profile picture a little bit. Maybe we'll go that one. And I'll update my information. So that is free time.
And now, we'll talk about the technologies used. We'll go over a high-level architecture, and then we'll get into a few specifics. For our hosted services, we have DynamoDB on AWS, which serves as our primary database. We have Rust on Shuttle for our backend, which runs internally on EC2, but for us, we don't have to care about those technical details. We use Vercel for our desktop web, which just hosts our Next.js and React application, and Capacitor for mobile app. We'll now be covering a bit more about Rust and our backend in general. So we're doing a standard REST API where we just have the general REST structure and using HTTP methods to properly encode how we transmit our data between our backend and our frontend. We're running on that NoSQL database mentioned before, DynamoDB. What this allows us to do is it allows us to structure our data less when we're building out the app, but not sacrifice high performance and high scalability just because of that. It's really convenient. It might be similar to Mongo, but far more efficient, used by Amazon internally. Next, we're using Shuttle for deployments because it's Rust specific, it's really easy, and it scales as we need it. And speaking of Rust, why Rust? The big reasons are the built-in testing and documentation make using Rust a breeze. There's a lot of really nice tooling, a lot of editor plugins. You can feel productive in Rust and ensure that you're doing the right thing quickly. Helping this is the strict type checking. The strict type checking allows you to write your endpoints and be pretty certain they work without ever having to run the app in the first place. Of course, you run it to check it, but it's nice to have that guarantee pre-compile. Next, we have traits for shared implementations. The way we implemented our backend, we have one trait or interface that has all of the interaction with the database, which allows us to mock it really easily for verifying these things through tests. Last but not least, you have the package ecosystem. Rust has a lot of packages that makes a lot of things really nice. For our front end, we're doing React via Next.js. React is pretty industry standard at this point for developing user interfaces, and Next.js is one of the most popular frameworks for writing React. It gives us a lot of nice utilities and performance benefits. We're using Tailwind CSS for styling. We're not using any component libraries here. We're doing it all ourselves. We could use component libraries, but they didn't provide too much of a benefit for us. We are doing TypeScript for correctness. This actually takes types generated from the backend, so all of our APIs are type safe from back to front because all of the Rust types get compiled to TypeScript types. Next, we'll go over some software engineering practices. For how we did our version control, we did kind of a CI/CD workflow where we did small focus commits that were continuously merged into main, tested, and then deployed whenever we deemed ready. What this allows us to do is move quickly without having to do too much overhead of pull request reviews. And since we're doing the small focus commits, we actually often do them in mob programming sessions. So we kind of review the code as we write it. We did weekly Scrum Master stand-up meetings, which talked about what we did, what we need to do next, normal priority stuff. We did some user testing, where we saw some of the difficult to see bugs when you're developing the app. There's a lot of bugs that you think aren't actually a problem. One notable one we fixed thanks to user testing is actually being able to delete a Freetime. We always just created them when we were testing the database and testing our application. We never thought about deleting it, and that was a funny oversight that we fixed. Last but not least, we want to talk a bit about type-driven development. Since we started with the types and went forward from there, what that allowed us to do is it allowed us to scaffold our app before we even started, see any possible complications, and then once we actually needed to implement the app, it was really easy because all the hard work is done thanks to strict types and how they pipe throughout the system.